Hey, it's me, Matthew. And welcome to another episode of The Editing Room. Somehow, this show was approved by Caleb, and now I'm supposed to be doing these every 2 weeks. So I have a friend. His name's Jaden. Here's some pictures of him. Wow. Amazing. Oh, look at that one. He's quiet, enjoys hanging around, and wants to be left alone. So basically the human equivalent of a piece of string.
Nice shot!
On our own, both of our intellects are pretty average. But when you put us together, both of our brains become as smooth as a watermelon. All this to say, we're dumb. Why am I telling you this? Well, let me set the scene. It's 2018, it's winter, it's cold, nobody was happy about it. And during this time, I was in a small group. There were 5 of us, Jaden and I included, and we decided to help go give socks and hot chocolate to the homeless in Kelowna. Now, I was relatively fine because I was wearing a thin jacket thing and a cap, so my ears were protected. But Jaden, he had nothing but a hoodie on. Well, I mean, he had pants on, but my point is he's cold. His ears were unprotected against the minus 20-degree weather out, which I was quick to point out. To which he said, "Oh, I'll be fine. I'm Jaden. I don't believe in being warm." Which is not what he said, but that's what I heard. And so the night goes on. Socks and hot chocolate are being distributed. So we get to a homeless shelter right downtown, and just to set the scene, there were some homeless people there so drugged up that they were trying to speak Morse code. Beep, 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 beep. I'm getting fired. Jaden and I were on the street next to the sidewalk, and we're feeling the cold set into our bones at this point, and Jaden's ears look like they're about to fall off. So, to prove my point that he should have put on a hat, I walk up behind him, right? I put my hand behind his head, like this, right? And then just went, just a simple, right? Now, unknown to me, nor Jaden, his ears were so frozen that when I flicked them, he suddenly became very aware of how frozen they were. Now, I step back, right? And before I even finish my movement, I see Jaden start to kind of shift. I'm like, oh, that's peculiar. And suddenly, he moved towards me, breaking the sound barrier, leg lifted, and on a trajectory to my Somehow I managed to turn my body from this attempt on my life. Now, normally I don't really have a temper. But oh boy, it must have been the cold or just the tense setting, because my blood began to boil. I think I yelled something along the lines of, "Do that again and I'll punch you in the face," which garnered the response of, "And I'll take you to the ground and we'll wrestle on the street." Which now looking back, I was a little strange. Now, we didn't end up fighting, but in hindsight, it would have been pretty funny if we did. Just 2 Christian dudes duking it out in the middle of a street in Kelowna at night, surrounded by homeless people they were giving socks to. Would have been a pretty good story. But eventually the situation diffused, and we laughed about it afterwards, like we weren't just about to break each other's faces in. That was the chronicles of our combined stupidity. Put that on a book cover. So, what did we learn? Don't be dumb. That's not. Do unto others that you would have done to you. There. Just put that on a 240p background of some mountains and put some hearts around it and right onto Facebook. But it's true. Jesus said it on the Sermon on the Mount. You should read it. It's in Matthew. Oh, wait, that's my name. I can already hear you going, "Matthew, I've been to Sunday school, okay? This is amateur stuff." And, it is. So why don't we do it? Huh? Riddle me that, Batman. I've found it that sometimes the simplest things are the hardest to do. Just do it, lol. Be better. It's not that easy. Treating others nicely can be tough sometimes, especially if they're not treating you right. But even if you start with small things, like not punching your friend in the face when they try and kick you. Bad example, but it's a step forward. And enough steps forward, you'll find you're going somewhere. And if you fail, so have many. so did David, and David ended up being called a man after God's own heart. So if you fail, all is not lost. Anyways, that's the weekly report. That's the segment. I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna keep standing here and blabbering on until something happens. Probably won't happen, but that's cool. Thanks, me editing this. You're cool. You're really not. I hate you. Wish you could. Ow.